Over the last 20 years of my career, I've interviewed thousands of candidates, and I can safely say this because for 2 decades, I've recruited for organisations continually, reviewing hundreds and thousands of CVs and conducting thousands of interviews. So how would I expect a candidate to answer the question, what's your biggest weakness? Let's find out. Hi, this is Bryn Keech from Leader Ruler, and this video is all about providing you with the basis on how to answer this question. Now, there are many blogs, videos and articles giving suggestions on how you could, should or must answer this question, and that's okay. If you think that advice gives you what you need and feels right, then use it. This video is based on my views from 20 years in the recruitment industry. My advice: relate your answer to the role that you're being interviewed for. Some inexperienced interviewers ask this question because that's what they think that they have to do, making it one of those cliche questions that we all hate. The interviewer asks it but doesn't really understand what they're trying to get from it. Experienced interviewers know that they're wanting to see how self-aware you are of your skills, as well as wanting to see if you relate any weakness that you have to the requirements of the role. Some candidates joke in interview with me by saying, "Oh, I knew you were going to ask me that." And I think that's great. That means that your answer is going to be a really good one because you've had time to prepare. Now, ultimately, they fail because they haven't prepared. Remember the old adage, failing to prepare is preparing to fail. Sounds cheesy, I know, but think about it. When you're preparing for your interview, if you think that an interviewer might ask you a certain question in that interview, then perfect your answer. You've got time, plenty of time before the interview takes place. Don't just think you can get away with providing a cliche answer. Cliche answers are the ones that candidates use to try and turn their weakness into a positive. And these are the answers that experienced interviewers have all heard so many times before. "Oh, I'm too much of a perfectionist." Really? "I find it difficult to say no." "I get frustrated when others miss deadlines." "I find it hard to let go of projects." "I don't have any weaknesses." Oh, please, give me a sensible, well thought out answer. "I love my work too much." "I have overly high standards." Wow, like I've never heard any of these before. Give me something new, something that impresses and something that the hiring manager will find interesting. To do that, start by reviewing the role profile or the job advert or whatever you can find out about the role and the expected tasks, responsibilities and skills needed. Look at each of these requirements individually and rate yourself against each one. Perhaps rate yourself out of 10. If we had a list on a job description or a job advert that looked like this, we could rate ourselves relatively easily because we understand our own experiences. Customer service skills, 7 out of 10. Presentation skills, 4 out of 10. Team working, 9 out of 10. Project involvement, 6 out of 10. Stakeholder management, 3 out of 10. Be honest with yourself, and I mean truly honest with yourself about how good or weak that particular skill is for you. Then rate yourself. In this instance, my biggest weakness was stakeholder management. So I need to think about why I'd given it a 3 out of 10. Now, it might be that I don't have a lot of experience in managing stakeholders, that I'm not effective at engaging with stakeholders, or it might be actually I'm not even sure what stakeholder management is, and that's fine. If that's the case, go away and learn, go away and understand what the term is. You might be surprised, actually it might be something that you do already, you just didn't know what to call it. Whatever you feel it is, write it down and review your answer, work to understand what you mean by each of these. In this example, my weakness of stakeholder management is due to the fact that I haven't really had to do it very much in the past. So I think about how I managed my stakeholders when I did have them, what the relationship was like. Do I think my stakeholders liked me or disliked me? Do I think my stakeholders think that I provided them with a good, average or poor service? Whatever it is, why do I think that? What could I do differently to really make the experience of my stakeholders better if I think about it? I might think, I could have a schedule of contact with my stakeholders rather than just waiting for them to contact me when something goes wrong. Okay, now I'm getting somewhere. I now understand that my biggest weakness is stakeholder management, and that to improve, I could build up a schedule of contact with them. So how could I weave this into an answer that demonstrates my awareness of the weakness that I have and how I'm overcoming this? Oh, I've noticed that I could be stronger in stakeholder management. I'd historically left my stakeholders alone and engaged with them only if they approached me first. I think I was concerned that if I spent too much time trying to keep in contact with them, they might feel as though the relationship isn't genuine. More recently, I've discovered that this isn't effective and has had an opposite effect on the relationship to the one that I wanted. I'm improving my skills through studying stakeholder management methodologies and stakeholder analysis, but I know that there's always much more that I can do to make improvements go even further. Now, I'm happy with this answer as an interview. It shows me that the candidate has an awareness of their skills levels, can identify a weakness that relates to the role that they're being interviewed for, but also shows me that they are making efforts to overcome this and that there is progress taking place. Structure your preparation and answers to this question by using this approach will help you provide some good insight for the interviewer and provide them with a sound example as an answer. Provide them with the weakness. Explain why you think this is a weakness. Explain what positive steps you've been taking or continue to take to overcome this. I have limited experience of using XYZ video editing software. I appreciate that you're really ideally looking for a candidate with strong skills in this. I've predominantly been using ABC video creative software for the last few years. Now, I have reviewed XYZ and made a comparison of its key features and capabilities and found that are actually quite similar to ABC. I'm already now using it as a secondary software so that I'm becoming more proficient with it. You can always answer the biggest weakness question by focusing in on something like a tool or an application, but don't be surprised if the interviewer asks you for something else, perhaps one that demonstrates more of a behavioural weakness in you rather than something tangible like a software skill or a physical skill. Well, I hope this has been helpful. As always, feel free to subscribe, leave comments, click the notification icons or ask questions. Thanks for watching.